What is up, ShadowZone fans? It is Saturday night. This is round two, and I am feeling extremely well tonight. This is your ghost host with the most, Brian James, brought to you always by Mr. Eldon Mackinville. What's
Hey,
up, brother?
what's going on, Brian? It looks like we got a heck of a show tonight, too. Kind of a continuation from the North Carolina, ain't it?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We got Kennedy, Tessa, and Tiffany with the spooky trio tonight.
You know, they've been setting a storm going on there in the Midwest, haven't they?
They have, man, and this is one of my favorite teams right here, man. This is top 5 favorite teams right here.
Outstanding. You know, I'm really excited to hear about what they've been doing, where they're going, and you know, I want to see what's on their bucket list for the upcoming months, man. So why don't we bring Kennedy out and introduce Kennedy, Brian?
Absolutely, let's do it. Miss Kennedy, hello.
How are you guys?
Good, good. How you doing, Kennedy?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Very nice. Very nice.
So why don't you kind of tell the audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, a little bit about your organization there in the Midwest?
Alrighty, I am a paranormal investigator. I've only been actively doing it for a little over a year now, roughly about a year and a month-ish. Got my start with the Tennessee Wraith Chasers, doing their events and that sort of thing. And then August of last year, it kind of rolled around and we found out that our favorite TV show was going to DeadCon in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And Tiffany and I had kind of had it planned out. You know, we were like, oh, if they go, we should go. And we were like, about a week later, they posted that they were going to be there. And I'm like, we got to go. So her and I made plans to go. And then Tessa was like, I want to go, but I don't have, a ride. So I was like, I had no idea where she lived. I was like, I'll come get you for real. And like, that just kind of started the friendship between the three of us. We made a group chat. And out of nowhere, we were messing around one night. And I was like, what if we call ourselves the Spooky Trio? And it just stuck. So like, it started as a joke, but now we've got t-shirts and now we've got a team.
There you go. Outstanding. I like those shirts. That's really cool. It's kind of got that like faded color in the background. And you've got a green one, Kennedy, and I can see yours is orange. What color is yours, Tessa? Is that purple or?
Mine's purple, and Tiffany's is actually red. And I like to tie dye. It's a pretty big hobby of mine. I'm not gonna lie, I've been slacking the past few weeks because I just recently got a new job, but I did tie dye these myself. So, and then we ironed the little design on. Tiffany brought it, and we did it in the hotel room
at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Oh my god,
that is fantastic. Burgundy says spooky trio in the house.
Burgundy.
Hey Burgundy, what's up? Thank you for tuning in.
So I gotta know before we dive into this, what does it take for, say, a couple of old podcasters like me and Eldon to catch one of them badass shirts?
Tessa, you want to answer this one? You're the one that makes them.
I mean, just let me know what size you want, and if Tiffany, you can get another one of these.
All right, I got you.
We could definitely whip one up for you. Or better yet, we have some merch ideas kind of in the works. We have some shirts we might be dropping here in the future. We don't have an exact release date yet or anything, and they will be tie-dye. So, and it's not just t-shirts. We have a couple other things too.
We have several ideas in the works that we're pretty excited to finally reveal. But I think you're just going to have to wait a little bit. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
So we have Kennedy's side of how things got started. Tessa, what about you? What got you started with the other two?
Well, so when she had ended up posting that, commented on my post that she was like, I'll come pick you up. I'm like, all right, let's do this. But when it came to like the paranormal, I didn't grow up in a haunted home. I haven't had very many per se paranormal experiences, but it's always fascinated me, just like the TV shows and stories I've heard from other people, but I've never really had a group of girls or a group of people in general to go with. And then when I found these two and we actually went to, DeadCon together, I was like, this is perfect. I mean, I know we're states apart, so it does get difficult at times, but we're going to make it work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, heck yeah. What about you, Tiffany?
Well, I've been into the paranormal since like I was a kid, and then to grow up and like meet these two, which I am so happy to call my best friends. We all have like basically everything in common, so we all just automatically clicked, and I'm so thankful for them and all of our adventures we get to go on together now.
Right.
Yes, and the ones we already have been on.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been that many, but boy, have they been. They've been.
We've got some stories.
Yeah.
Which
hey,
Tiffany
Alvin?
and I actually met. Like we met at Old Hospital on College Hill back in August, like a week before we found out that Destination Fear was going to be at DeadCon.
Yeah.
Nice.
We swear everything was fate. Like.
Yep.
What's up, Brian?
I like a good story, Elvin. What about you?
Yeah, me too. And I'm really curious about this logo with them because they kind of look familiar. So let me bring that up on the screen real quick. So this looks really cool. So can you explain this logo real quick to us?
Yeah. That was actually drawn by a fan or a friend of ours. Her name is Natalie. She's from the UK. Mm-hmm. And we brought a drawing that she had done for one of the camera guys for Destination Fear. We brought it to Las Vegas with us so he could have it. And that was kind of her repayment for us doing that for her. So I'm the one in the glasses, Tessa is the one in the middle, and then Tiffany is the one in the back, like kind of beside me, which is actually how we set up one of our pictures for Mopin when we dropped by there on the way out to Vegas. And then we also set up our Hotel Colorado photo the exact same way.
Nice. So that's pretty cool that actually kind of depicts each one of you three. That's really cool how you've incorporated that into your logo. So that's really, really cool there.
It's definitely something that I think kind of blew all of us away. Like we weren't expecting it by any means.
Yes, seriously, shout out to Natalie. Like you are so talented. You're such an amazing artist. She has drawn, I think me and Tiffany so far. Mm-hmm. And Kennedy, I guarantee you're coming up next.
I'm probably next if I had to guess.
I got to say my favorite ghost out of all three of those is the one with the tongue cocked off to the side. That's got to be my favorite right there.
I don't know why. It's something that I do all the time, and I don't know why.
I did a peace sign. I meant this.
It's okay. I have a bad habit of when I play video games, my tongue's always out to the side, and I'm just sitting there going.
That's like my go-to pose. Just.
Yeah.
And Bear Cub says, OMG, love you all so much.
We love you too.
Oh, thank
you.
I'm pretty sure that's Natalie. I think.
So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing one hell of a fan following for you guys. And how long have you guys been together for?
We've been together since
I don't know how many months exactly, but August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. Yep. Had to figure it out right here. So it really hasn't been long. It hasn't even been a year yet. And we sadly still haven't even been on our first investigation together as a group. Because like I said, it is hard living, in 3 different states.
Yeah.
Wow. So where all do you guys, what states are you from? So Kennedy, I think you're in Indiana. Am I right?
Yep.
And Tiffany, where are you from?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. And Tessa?
I'm from Illinois.
Oh, wow. So you guys are really spread apart there.
Oh, yeah. It's like 6 hours for me to get to Tiffany and like maybe 4 to Tessa.
Yeah.
But we make it work. I don't know how, but I guess when
Mhm.
you all get along, it makes it a little bit easier.
It
Oh, yeah.
really does. It really does. That's kind of like the situation with, the three co-founders of Global too. Fortunately, myself and Jason, we're right here in the Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. But unfortunately, Brian, he's all the way up in Spokane, Washington. But
Mhm.
we're still able to make it work really well. And there's a whole lot of equal balance between the three of us still. So, it's very important. And especially when you're so far apart like that, most definitely communication is key. And
Okay.
that's really important to have when you've got the three members that are so far apart. That communication balance really needs to stay intact.
Yep.
Mhm.
We
I'll
literally
tell you.
talk every day. Like, there's not a day we don't talk.
Yep.
That- yep.
Facts.
And
That's
if
the
we
same
don't
with
talk,
me,
we're
man.
usually on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hear you. Yeah, me and Brian, we're the same way. Unfortunately, Jason, he works a lot, so we're not really able to communicate with him, as much as we'd like. But every chance he gets, he's getting us on the phone and getting updates and putting his input in and all that to get, so that we're all on the same page, constantly. So, but Brian and I, we're like an everyday dog and hound. We're either FaceTiming or talking or something, huh, Brian?
Yep, that's right. This is my brother right here, man. I'd take a bullet for this dude.
Absolutely, man. And likewise, and I'm sure it's the same way with you three as well with the spooky trio.
Yep,
Facts.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, in Vegas, one of our number one rules is like we are not leaving each other. We are not going anywhere. We are sticking by each other's side because that's what we're here for.
Yep, you
Right.
got each other's backs, 100%. Absolutely.
Yep.
And
we can joke around with each other and say some not so nice things, but the second somebody else does it, nope, not happening.
Exactly.
Yep.
So the question on my mind, and I'm sure on everybody else's mind, is what do we have to look forward to in the future with the spooky trio?
Oh boy, where to start?
We've got quite a bit planned this year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Our first official, right as of right this second, our first official investigation for the three of us together is going to be Moundsville State Penitentiary in
West
July.
Virginia.
Yeah, so we're super excited for that. But the week prior to that, we're road tripping to New Jersey for another Paragon.
There you go.
Which we're really excited for. So it'll
Yeah,
be our
it's
first
really
one
fun.
since Vegas.
Yep. It'll be our first one since Vegas, our third overall, and another 10-hour road trip for us to film and do stupid stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah, July is definitely going to be spooky for us.
Yeah. July is a very busy month for all three of us, but
Yeah.
for me especially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
I
now
got,
y'all know next year when Global decides to do their road trip across the U.S.
mhm.
Y'all are going to be investigating with Global, right?
Yes, I am looking forward to that.
I cannot wait for that.
And we're going to be all over the East Coast. We're going down south. We're heading back to the Southwest. We might even go to the Northwest for a few. But
Make sure you hit the Midwest too.
oh yeah, Midwest too, most definitely. But I'm looking very much forward to investigating with you guys. Like I was telling Eldon, you guys are definitely on my top 5 favorite teams of all time.
We
Thank you.
definitely
That means
appreciate
so
it for
much.
sure.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Eldon.
So now, go ahead, Brian.
I said back to you, brother.
Yeah. So on the investigations you guys plan on having come up, are you doing any live feeds on that? Are you airing any episodes or anything like that going on to where we can watch that stuff live, or maybe after editing you'll put it somewhere for us to see?
I think we're actually planning on doing both. We will have the live streams on the night of the investigation, but I know there's a few touch and go places at each location that we're playing in, so I think we're definitely all going to have cameras rolling at all times. Hopefully this time nothing goes wrong. Definitely in Moundsville, we're for sure going live. The next one that we have right after that is Old Hospital on College Hill the night after. Service is terrible up there, but we will have a video eventually ready to go out so everybody can see what went down.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I've been getting most recently on my investigations are some that are just, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I had the girls join me a few weeks ago for a virtual investigation.
That was wild.
Yeah. I decided that I was going to do a long distance Estes session, or Estes method. Mm-hmm. And I was going to have the two of them ask questions, not knowing the location or the history of the location. They'd seen it on TV, they'd seen it on Destination Fear, but they hadn't done research prior to that night. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go, it was Madison Seminary, and I decided to go up to Sarah's room, and I just felt, pulled to do the Estes. And I sit down on the floor, and they start asking questions, and everything's going fine. I'm getting decent answers, and I'm still going back through the footage because I don't remember half of it. But one of the attachments that decided to follow me home from the Las Vegas Mob Museum decided that he wanted to come through. That one sent me for a loop. It was all starting to make sense as I was saying it, and you can actually hear me in the video saying, it's making sense and I don't like it. He wasn't a good person in life, but luckily for me that I had them to pull me out when things went south.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you had been under for at least an hour.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people where I'm like, if I'm getting good stuff, don't pull me out. Just leave me alone. I'll come out when I'm ready. But for them to step in and be like, okay, she's done. No, he's not from here. Get her out. I'm glad that they did, because I don't trust him.
We don't either.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a spooky spirit for sure. And that pun was not intended, by the way. But yeah, we definitely want to try and do that again, probably sometime soon before once we actually do our investigations together. But even that week, when we do those, we want to try and make it a few other pit stops. Like when we're coming back from Jersey to West Virginia, we want to stop at Gettysburg and see if we can do an investigation or two, or some pit stops. We're definitely going to Gettysburg and doing some stuff. We just haven't decided.
Hey, Eldon.
Yeah.
What else is in West Virginia?
West Virginia?
Ooh, I know.
Let me see here. Can I scratch my neck for a second and think? Let me see.
Tiffany, tell us all the things the haunted places that are in your state. Just start the list.
It's not Trans-Allegheny, is it?
Trans-Allegheny is one of them, yes.
It might be.
And then you have Sweet Springs Sanitarium.
Yep.
West Virginia Penitentiary.
Yep.
Old Hospital in College Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park.
Yep.
And probably other places that I haven't heard of yet. And we can't forget Mothman.
Yes, the Mothman.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget the Mothman, can we?
Mm-mm.
Tiffany, that was just mind-blowing there. Holy crap, hon, you've done your research.
Yeah. And I literally, where I live in West Virginia, I'm 1 to 1.5 to 2 hours away from all of those locations. So you could probably hit all of them in probably one day.
Hey, Eldon, I just got a brilliant idea.
Don't talk out of turn, Brian. Don't do it.
Why don't we have the spooky trio map out our little road trip, man?
I keep telling you, when he talks out of turn, he just kind of pushes away. We don't.
That's right. You'll never hold me back.
Brian, I think that's a fabulous idea, but let's get that kind of spread out a bit. I think if we try to hit one every night, that's going to be a bit much, don't you think?
Only for the people that are reviewing the evidence, not for us.
Speak for yourself, man.
Oh man.
I'm about 20 minutes
So-
from Huntington, West Virginia. Where is Huntington, West Virginia?
I know where it's at. I just don't know how to explain it.
How far is it from you?
Probably about 45 minutes.
Now you got to keep in mind that in West Virginia, if you literally actually just draw a straight line from one point to another, and you're able to travel on that straight line, it'd probably take you 10 minutes to get there. But because there's so many mountains, you've got to go around them, and it takes you an hour and a half to go that distance.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very difficult. Am I right, Tiffany?
Yeah.
Oh, what is the name of the state where you can stand in one like little area and you're in all 3 or 4 states at once? I forget the name of that state.
New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, and Arizona, is it?
It's called the Four Corners
No.
area.
No,
it's
not
called the
Arizona.
Four
No,
Corners.
not Arizona.
It's Utah. It's Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay, wait. So I was. Okay. Hey, I knew something. I thought I was wrong.
What's up, Keith?
Hello.
Hello.
Keith Evans, he is a fascinating person right there.
Seriously,
So,
thank you everyone for tuning in. Like, this is awesome. I was not expecting this many people.
Well, every time Miss Kennedy blesses us with her presence, she seems to just bring a whole army of people with her.
And I don't even know half of them.
That's because you're awesome. And
I
your
appreciate
team
it.
is awesome.
Thank you.
So on your video recording and things like that, you guys plan on doing and editing. I mean, apparently you're going to have a whole lot of editing going on. Do you have somebody helping you with that, or do you guys handle that, or how do you guys work that?
I am the one that has done all of the editing so far. I think
I
that's
told her
kind
I
of
would love to help her.
right. I think it's going to maintain, or it's going to remain an internal thing between the 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I might have one of them work on, you know, maybe an intro or something like that, or I might have somebody review evidence, but it's all just it's an internal thing. We don't have anybody from the outside helping. So
Gotcha. That's a big project, isn't it?
oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a learning process too, because I definitely am down to help edit. I just have to really learn how still, and I'm kind of in the process of, you know, doing that right now. But we also we do our social media, we do all our own edits and like promo and everything. You know, we're fully independent. So
Yeah.
and I honestly, I really like saying that.
Yeah, it has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we're just getting started, so it's not, you know, it's not like we've done a whole lot yet, but you know, we'll get there eventually. And it's, you know, it's all a part of the process. And I like the process because you can't just have that end result. It's, you know,
Right.
you got to work for it.
Well, you know, as turns out, I've got a gentleman in the back right now. He has his own production company, edits videos and things like that. You know, if you guys got any questions or anything, you need some pointers, I can always bring him in and you can pick his brain and use him and abuse him all you want.
But you must be careful. He's not of this world.
So I'm gonna bring in Mr. Cassidy Lightwing, the executive producer of Bleeding Violin Studios, also a supporter of Global United, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Cass? You're there on mute.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Yeah, you muted me, and I'm offended.
Cassidy Lightwing, you sexy thing. What's going on, brother?
Ew. No, I've just been watching from the background. I love these 3. You guys are awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, what was this about picking my brain? I like it where it is.
Well, I think if we picked it and moved it about 3/4 to the left and center a little bit, you might be on my level, but you don't want to be on my level. It's bad at my level.
Just make sure you bring fava beans and a nice Chianti. We'll be all right.
Oh, all right.
You can pick my brain, but it comes at a cost.
Yeah.
So, what did you want to know? I mean, why am I being brought in? I'm nervous.
I'm not exactly sure.
So here's what we've just learned, Cass. So the Spooky Trio is going to be coming up with some investigations here over the next few months, and
Right.
they're going to be doing some video recording or whatever have you. They handle all of their own production. They handle all of their own editing. And I let them know that we had a gentleman in the back room that has his own production company that does the editing, does the producing. And if they've got any questions, things that they might want to know, that they could pick your brain. That's why you're here, Cass.
Gotcha. Okay.
It all makes sense now.
Now, notice they did not say picking the nose. They said picking the brain.
Oh, thank you very much, Candace. I had I had my microphone turned off for the other studio. So we're simulcasting with the Lions Pride audience and the Global Paranormal audience right now. So I would say the only thing you guys do great work already. You know, the only thing I would say is just be willing to show your mistakes. You know, like have like a blooper reel for your supporters, things like that. I have found
That's
that
coming, I promise.
What was that? Oh yeah. Okay,
That's
fair enough.
coming, I promise.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
it's on its way.
Awesome. But like I said, you guys do great work. I've been seeing your commercials. I've been looking at the artwork. The lady with the three ghosts. I don't know what I was hoping to get pointers from you.
See, Natalie, she could do the artwork pointers. I mean, we all do, like I said, the editing and like stuff ourselves, but she specifically made that one.
Yeah, she does the digital drawings and things like that, and she's pretty good at it too.
Now,
we say hi to the Lions Pride audience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You're freaking awesome.
I would like to say that I admire you three. You three are willing to work as one cohesive unit, not just in an investigation, but outside of an investigation. And let me tell you what, from 8+ years experience, your team's going to go really, really far. You keep up that attitude. I promise you that.
As long as they're on board, you know I am.
You always know I'm on board.
I'm so on board.
It's a unit. We go like a line.
We always tell
just a conga line. Let's go.
And you see that's the one thing I admire the most is you guys are united as one. Nobody in front, nobody in back, everybody side by side. If one falls, the others are there to pick you up.
Yep.
And the other thing too I noticed is the positive energy. All three of them have positive energy, Brian. Did you see this?
God, yes.
Oh, that means thank you so much. That really means a lot.
Really appreciate it.
And if you gals ever need pointers, tips, or anything, please feel free to come to us. You know, we'll help you out wherever we can, whenever we can.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Because, you know, I mean, I know what it feels like to be new. You know, I didn't have anybody to give me advice. I jumped into it head first, and let me tell you, it's about a 3.5 foot pool when I jumped in head first.
Oh my God.
That explains a lot.
That explains everything.
I love you, Cass. I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
So, what do you girls rock for the equipment?
Right now we basically kind of just use my stuff. I've got, the SB7 Spirit Box, which I use quite frequently. I've got we all have digital recorders. I've got a K2 that we use. We've got a REM pod, and I think we're trying to add some more to our arsenal. I think once we all eventually get back on our feet from Vegas, because we're all still struggling from that.
Yeah, oh my God.
So I think once we all get back on our feet from that sort of thing, we're gonna add, maybe an Ovulus or maybe even a paranormal music box. It just kind of depends on, who wants to do what, or, if we all pitch in together and we say, okay, well, this is so much, let's just,
Well, I have something to share with you guys. And it is a picture.
Ooh.
Paratech Laboratories is a mix-up of global and PD region paranormal. Now, Robert from PD region makes equipment at a price that most anybody can afford. And he does portals, he does SLS cams, he does music boxes, specified K2s, he does it all. So if you guys ever need equipment, let me hit Robert up and I'll see what he can make you for a good price.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Oh,
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And honestly, another thing I'd like to add to the equipment is we really like antiquing and going to thrift shops and stuff. So like I've found a couple trigger objects. I feel like I found a music box train, like an old music, it looks like a toy train. So I'm really hoping that'll work if we're dealing with any like child spirits, like actual child spirits. And then I also have these like ration chips that were used during World War II. So, and I know Kennedy, you just found some Civil War stuff when you recently went shopping. So
I did.
we got some trigger objects too that we're really excited to test out.
That is phenomenal. Cass, go ahead. You got the floor, buddy.
Cool. So the Lions Pride audience is way more into the preternatural, supernatural aspect of things. So some of them are wondering what has been done about this spirit that you brought home.
He doesn't really do anything when I'm at home. I didn't even know that he could follow me to locations until I was at Madison Seminary, which is kind of interesting to me because most of them, there's a couple of them that have followed me home that are active around the house, but for whatever reason, he's not. And I've tried to send him back and I've tried to get rid of him and like he won't go.
Okay. Do any of you three practice light work, magic, witchcraft, whatever name you wish to call the manipulation of reality?
No, I didn't mean to raise my hand and say like yes to that because I don't.
Oh.
But one thing I want to mention is because we talked about that spirit, it doesn't come around you when you're at your house, but you know when it did come through when we were talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is true.
I just realized that. Yeah. So maybe hopefully nothing happens now. On this call. But
I mean, I guess like thinking back to it when we were in Vegas, whatever it was that affected me did not like Tessa.
No,
her and I, at all. We had our first fight in Vegas, and I solely blame it on the Mob Museum because it started that night when we got back to the hotel.
You know, it wasn't even like a real fight. It was just like you were like just being a little snippy and like it was just like not. And I'm like, but this is not because you've never acted like that before. I'm like, this is not Kennedy. I'm like, this is so weird. And then you started feeling like every time I walked around you, you got really dizzy. And that's when I was like, okay, it's definitely something paranormal because that's so odd. That's never happened before.
And we were getting those things like during your Estes, Tessa asked a couple questions and it wouldn't answer her. And then when I would ask something similar, it would come through. And you said if that's the same one, it didn't like her. So it wouldn't answer her questions either.
Right.
True.
Me and her was
I don't know what I did. I really don't. And I've apologized for it.
Dude, you never know what'll offend a spirit. It's a grab bag every time, unless you're dealing with spirits you already know. Mm-hmm. So I actually have not had a chance to describe the Estes technique to my audience. Would you please do so?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Estes method or an Estes session is done by someone who uses a blindfold and noise-canceling headphones connected into the SB7 spirit box. They can't see. The person who's under can't see. They can't hear. They don't know what questions are being asked, and all they do is they repeat the things that they hear through their headphones and hope it makes sense.
And oh boy, did it.
A little too much sense.
Everything was clicking.
Yeah, and especially there towards the end when it all started to fall together and it's like, uh-oh.
Now, something I might recommend for you girls would be to get either a crystal or some sort of item blessed by either a shaman, a priest, I mean, whatever you guys believe in, So that way you actually are protected from spirits following you home. Because, I mean,
definitely a
you
good
never
idea.
know
Yeah,
when
that is
there's going to be a nasty lurking around the corner going, ha ha ha, fresh meat. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah,
And
especially
I'm
with us being so new too to the
Yeah.
paranormal, where we are fresh meat, literally.
you know, I've got a little bit.
That just answered a couple of other questions, actually.
They are like brand new to the paranormal. I've been in it for a little over a year now, actively.
And I have been on one investigation, my first ever investigation, which I apologize for not saying this earlier when I was asked about the paranormal, but it was just this past November at Ashmore Estates, because I live in Illinois, so I'm only 2 hours south of it, and it's I loved that investigation. We got some pretty good evidence there too.
Cool. So I don't remember exactly where that is in Illinois. Is that anywhere? Is that anywhere near East Peoria?
No, I think it's actually 2 hours south of Peoria, because I'm about 4 hours south of it. So it's actually Ashmore Estates is in a little town called Ashmore, Illinois. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Literally, the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I just moved away from Illinois. That's why I was asking. So, have you guys are you unaware of the dangers of what you're doing, or are you just that brave?
I guess you could say I'm just that brave. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of know going into, what I'm getting myself into. I've already investigated Bobby Mackey's Music World. That sent me for a trip. That was kind of wild. I mean, I'm fully aware, but at the same time, it's like, whatever wants to talk is going to talk.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Something's interfering with your transmission.
Oh, you're all right. I was like, if it's going to talk, they're going to talk, dark, light, whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like, I definitely am not really into, like, we really try not to dip into the evil stuff too much, but we do we are planning on investigating places that do have dark entities. And I'm just like, even though I struggle with my belief in God genuinely, because it's just really hard to believe in like one being that's just created everything. Like, it is really hard, but I still pray before every investigation, just because it feels right.
Smart.
And I also just like, another thing I do afterwards is just like, you are not welcome to come home with me. I respect you. I'm glad, we've had our time together, but this is your home. This is where you're supposed to be. Please do not come with me, just because I know Kennedy's cool with having spirits in her home, but I'm the opposite. I prefer to have a clear home.
So you are a light worker.
Yeah, the way she is, I guess.
Yep.
Well, by doing that, what you're literally doing is imposing your will on reality and saying, no, you are not invited into my house, Mr. Vampire. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically, that's good.
That's good. That's very good to know.
And now we're echoing.
Oh, no.
Or there's two of me. That would be cool. So yeah, a lot of my audience is very concerned. We tend to be like we tend to do shows with like healers, exorcists, things like that. And like I've always wanted to do what we like the ghost hunters, ghost hunting adventures. Get into the science of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from our end, like meeting all of these paranormal investigators recently has been just wild. Because we're used to dealing with dangerous things, and then it's said around the galaxy that you can't keep humans down. And so watching you guys continually just go headlong into the face of extreme danger because it's there to help people for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. You go into the unknown and you make it known. And that is a strength. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. My question is, girls, are you planning on doing residentials? And you guys consider yourself ghost hunters or paranormal investigators?
Residential is always a possibility. I'm never gonna I don't think we're ever gonna rule anything out. On the scale from ghost hunter to paranormal investigator, I would say I would say we're all paranormal investigators. You know,
Definitely.
we do go looking for things, but I'm there to find the story behind whoever's there or whatever is there.
Eldon recently explained the difference to me. Could you explain that for the audience?
You want me to explain that?
Or... No, them. It's not your show. No, could you guys explain in your mind what's the difference between a ghost hunter and a paranormal investigator?
Cassie, you want to go first?
Yeah. I mean, a ghost hunter, you're just seeing if anything's there, kind of like something's going to jump out at you. You're not really looking for substance. And then that's what an investigator does. You're really looking at the root and the source of why these spirits are here, why they're not at rest, and you're diving in deep. And I think that's a lot more important. And it's also the difference, like, as well, there's kind of another category that Destination Fear, the show that we met each other through, you know, has opened my eyes to, which is just being kind of a paranormal explorer.
Yeah.
In which they go out and just kind of explore these investigations and, you know, just kind of see what's there, if they're haunted, if they're not. And they don't really chop up everything as automatically being paranormal, which I really like. So there's kind of my explanation of the three categories anyway.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem in our community too. Just the urge to, the spirit of coffee must have spilled your mug. You have offended this. Okay, get a grip, dude.
Tiffany, you want to go next?
But yeah, I was going to say, I agree with what Tess is saying. Like, me personally, I feel like I'm like a paranormal investigator and an urban explorer because, like, I don't purposely go to these places and, like, demand I get stuff. I go in, I ask questions, I listen and wait, and whatever comes to me that wants to talk, I'm not going to, like, demand anybody do anything. Just, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, maybe next time. Like, yeah. I don't.
No, that's good. It's a good explanation. We have one of our resident psychics has a message for you guys. She says, Bobby Max or Mackis is where you probably picked up your spirit from. Does that mean anything to you guys?
Bobby Mackey's is one location that I have been to. It actually followed my ex-boyfriend home, not me. I do not have anything from Bobby Mackey's.
Okay. So, all right, Candace, good job.
She got it.
But yeah, ours are, well, the one that followed Kennedy is actually from the Mob Museum in Las Vegas.
Okay.
You might have heard of him and his brother. They were both killed in the St. Valentine's Day massacre. His name is Peter Gusenberg.
Ghost House Paranormal in the house. We always do the shout out to Ghost House Paranormal. They're a group of psychics and mediums who put their money where their mouth is. They've found lost children. They have cleansed areas. They are the real deal, and they're struggling. So please check out Ghost House Paranormal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Most definitely. Ghost House Paranormal. How y'all doing? Much love to y'all.
Yes, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
So, girls, we are nearing the hour mark. Would you like a continuation of keeping on going for until about the 1:30 or 2 hour mark? Or would you like to call it at an hour? What would you like to do?
I'm down if you guys are.
Yeah, I'm cool. We keep going, because if anyone else, like any of the fans, if you guys are cool with us doing this, like if they have any questions, we can answer them or whatnot.
Hell, we're cool. We're getting ready to invite you to the other shows too. Like, hey, come have coffee with us in the afternoon. You guys are delightful.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We would be honored to be on more of your shows.
Yeah, that sounds like
this is really fun.
This is fun. That's why I was like, we don't have to stop it now. Like,
you heard him. Encore. Hold on. What?
Then the show must go on.
Sing for the year. Sing for the.
Oh, hey, Cassidy.
Yo.
Did you ever ride the lightning? Maybe go round and round? Maybe it's poison?
Brian, you keep that up. You're going to make him fade to black, dude.
Possibly you might go Enter the Sandman.
I hunt, therefore
November
I am.
Rain.
Ow. Oh, dude, don't. November Rain will make me cry. Oh,
Now you
dude.
see, if y'all keep on continuing with the song titles, eventually he'll start singing. He can't help it.
He's right. He keeps pushing, and I'm sitting here. I'm trying to bust. You can do magic. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay,
He's gone.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
See, he did it, and then I get punished. That's how it works around here, folks. You see how it is.
Oh, this
So,
is great.
from my point of view, what you guys do is very, very similar to like nature photographers and zoologists going out into the wild to discover. I mean, does that? I've never brought that up because I'm worried it would offend people. But what do you guys think of that?
I mean, it's a pretty decent comparison. You know, it's kind of what we do. You know, me on, you know, I'm the one that kind of goes in looking for, you know, the stories to tell. You know, I want to give the spirits a name. I want to give them a backstory. You know, I'm always working to, you know, if I can tell their story, maybe that'll bring them a little bit of peace in knowing that they aren't forgotten.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And one thing, or like one way I've always viewed the paranormal is like a science we just haven't really we've discovered it, but we don't know much about it yet. And I kind of hate that it isn't even called a science because, I mean, you're dealing with temperature changes, you're dealing with like light anomalies and light changes and just different like dimensions and perspective. Like, that's science? So I don't know why it's not viewed as more as a science. It's just, you know, paranormal, it's spooky, it's magic, it's whatever.
So
That's
if I were
what
to
I view it as.
Well, the trouble is with the science side of it. You know, if the science field recognized what we do as a science, they would have to admit that there's something going on. And they don't want to admit that because that would lose a lot of money in the long run for them.
Right.
Yes, that's actually one of the problems that we've had on both Bleeding Violence Studios and Global and pretty much every other organization that's been trying to find truth. Once you start getting close to the truth, the organizations that like, did aliens build the pyramids? They start getting into your business because they make money forcing people to ask the same questions over and over again. They don't want answers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Nobody wants the truth, and it sucks. Especially, you know, anyone. I don't want to get political, but anyone in the government or anyone in the higher ups, they never want the truth. I mean, we just when the pandemic came out, we had all those like files or whatever saying that like, oh, aliens, like, yeah, we've known of their existence, and we had so much other stuff going on in the world that we didn't pay attention. So they're like, oh, this is the perfect time to release it.
Well, they want the truth. They want the truth. They just don't want the public to know that they have the truth and want the truth. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that's how I feel about like us being like paranormal investigators and stuff. We want to get their side of the story and the truth from them, not what people say about them. We want people to know everything that true.
So speaking of that, would it surprise you to learn that there's actually been scientific, very, very real scientific investigations into these things for the last 150 years or so, right up to and including taxonomic classifications for different kinds of spirits?
I don't think it really surprises me.
Well, have you seen Ghostbusters?
Mm-hmm.
Dumb question,
yes.
Right? So were you aware that like the documents that they mentioned in the movie are real books? Like Tobin's Spirit Guide is a very, very real book. The classifications that they use in the Ghostbusters are actual metaphysical classifications of entities. Did you know that? And would you be interested in pursuing that knowledge?
I personally didn't, and I would be very much interested in it.
Yeah, cool. I don't think I knew that either, but yeah, that
like I said,
seems like an interesting path.
Yeah, because I mean, though I've been interested in the paranormal for a very long time, like I'd say about half my life, because I've been watching like ghost and paranormal shows and digging into stories for the past like 10 years. But compared to like the scientific side of it, like I'm just starting to dip my toe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a fun science.
Hey, Cass.
What?
Raymond says definitely going to be a midnight rider on the midnight train running with the devil.
Okay,
down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Raymond, I love
went
you.
down to Georgia. He was looking to film a show, but sorry, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to get sued.
So
This whole
Tessa,
thing's we cut for copyright.
with you having a hard time with the religion, do you believe that the Lord Almighty God could possibly be an extraterrestrial?
Okay, now do you want Cassidy's beliefs, Cassidy's people's beliefs, or the metaphysical explanation beliefs?
We'll get to you in a minute. I want to hear Tessa's answer first.
So it be. And like another thing that I've like kind of thought about with religion is, so you know how this whole like metaverse thing is going on, or like everything is a like simulation and someone's controlling the simulation, like some of these like some people have speculated, and like wouldn't that just be another version of like a god too, you know, possibly someone manipulating the simulation? So like typically a god could be like, yeah, I do believe that, because technically a god could be anything that's just controlling us. But I don't like, do I believe that we're living in a simulation? Not really. But wouldn't even know if I do really believe God is an extraterrestrial, but I do. Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility for sure.
Okay, Cass, what are your people's thoughts?
Well, first off, let's get very clear and define God here for a second. Capital G God, you know, is a different thing than like a little g God. The problem is you could take this video right now to some countries on this planet and start a religion. Oh, the 6 gods that know the spirits. You know, the definition of a little g God is just someone who is capable of controlling forces you don't understand. You know what I mean? So right there, I mean, you know, this is magic to the right frame of mind. So the problem is that little g God is an ever diminishing category. The more you understand, the less gaudy. Yeah, I'll go with gaudy. I like that. The less gaudy everything is. Now, my people believe that essentially it's very. Everything in this omniverse began with one. This was before time, before everything. And the one eventually got lonely and split itself into 2. The 2 began to split itself further and further and further until God was everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. My people believe that every mote of life in the multiverse is a building block, a cell, if you will, of the omniversal source. Beyond the omniversal source, who the hell knows? You know, when you start getting into, you know, 5th and 6th dimensional physics, everything just gets wacky. So,
but that's Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I was rambling. Always cut Cassidy off. I will ramble.
I just wanted to say, you brought up a good point about like understanding God, though, because that's why I still have a faith, or like there's a possibility that it's out there, because and that's why you do have faith. So because God is that's such a hard concept to grasp when you are just a human, you know. It's so like I said, I just really don't think you are going to ever understand everything, and that's why you do have faith.
Yeah, and quite frankly, faith is it's like a bridge between this world and, you know, higher evolutions. It doesn't matter what you have faith in, just that you have faith. And it's like we say on the coffee show, I don't care if you pray to, you know, Vishnu, Allah, or the flying spaghetti monster. Just believe. Okay, everything else will fall into place.
Why you got to mention spaghetti, man? You know it's one of my favorite foods, and we didn't have spaghetti tonight, and I'm upset.
Because I'm also craving spaghetti. So, hey, all right.
Hey, that does sound good. All right, ladies. So before an investigation, I always pump myself up with music. Like before an investigation, I'll listen to 6 Feet Under's Seed of Filth. What song is it for you 3 that gets you psychologically pumped for that investigation?
Ooh. Oh boy. I'm just trying to run through our playlist. Because you know, we had a long road trip to Vegas, and
don't go through the Vegas playlist.
No. What are you bangers in there?
I
literally, oh no, it's Bang, bang, bang. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Bang by AJR.
Yeah, that is definitely our song.
And then I think maybe for me, like when I do my stuff for the Haunted Times, it's just kind of whatever location it might be, or like whatever I feel the vibe could be.
Right now, we said like when we're going to locations, our song that we're probably going to play going to them is called "Paranormal Trail" by Bobby Mackey.
Yes, that was just featured in Trail to Terror. That Destination Fear just released. That was such a good documentary, and I'm like, that is definitely going to be a heavy like inspiration for us for sure. Like in the future, if we ever get to do any kind of like road trip like that ourselves.
And another thing that pumps us up is we always watch short films, usually 1 to 3 videos.
That it's not music, it's that pumps us up.
We watch those, and then we listen to music, and then we go on our adventure.
Oh yeah.
So where can I find this Paranormal Trail song?
YouTube.
She's so fast with that.
Who's it by?
I may or may not have listened to it 100 times.
It's by Bobby Mackey, the one and only Bobby Mackey.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, he wrote it specifically for Dakota for Trail to Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same Bobby Mackey Candace mentioned earlier?
Yep.
Cool.
He actually runs that location. It's a currently operating honky tonk nightclub.
Mr. Mackey, come on the show.
He's really amazing. I've never like personally met him or anything. I just seen him on like TV and interacted with him if it's actually him and not somebody running his account on Twitter. But I think he's an awesome guy.
Yeah,
he definitely.
That's one of my dreams to actually go like to his place and meet him there. Like,
I don't know if I'm ready to investigate Bobby Mackey's yet.
Not investigate, just go there.
I want to do a few more, but yeah, I would love to just go there and have a good old honky tonk time.
You're like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And I'm just sitting over here thinking, no.
Hey, maybe
like, let's just go drink some spirits and then listen to some good music. Like, let's do that there.
Oh, you're talking alcohol. I thought you were talking spirit cooking for a second. I'm like, I wouldn't recommend it.
No spirit cooking. No Maria Abramovic stuff here. I think that's how you say her name.
I wouldn't know. It's Maria
Abramovic. When it comes to investigating, I actually have a playlist for investigating, and it's mostly metal. But there's a few sideways throw-ins like Billy Ocean's Caribbean Queen, Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. And of course, who can't forget Uptown Funk?
Yeah,
you cannot forget that. That is a must.
Yeah, we noticed we listened to a lot of Bruno Mars as well.
Yeah,
we love Bruno Mars. Oh my god.
We ended up finding out that he was going to be in Vegas like the week after we left, and I'm like, man, if I would have known that, I would have saved a little more money.
We were like, can we extend this trip? Like,
So, what are some techniques that you girls like to use during investigation?
I personally like the Estes method.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chime in on here. Even Socrates, Tesla, and Einstein partially use that method. Sensory deprivation is a very handy tool.
Indeed.
So,
judging by the last few that I've done, it works.
Yeah, we'll be doing that method a lot on our upcoming investigations as well.
And Kennedy won't be the only one going under. Me and Tiffany are going to try it out too at a couple or whatever location we want to do it at.
Oh yeah.
And on a side note, you guys have done something very good for me, and so I want to thank you. I couldn't describe the Estes method to my audience because most of them are gamers, and that would bring up Dark Souls. And then I would have to explain the difference between Estes from Dark Souls, and it was just, no. So thank you guys very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, everybody loves it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, speaking of the Estes method, when I went actually on my first investigation last year in August with Kennedy, I chose the basement at Old Hospital in College Hill to do it.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
You know you love my ideas. But
no.
But during it, my whole arm, like my whole right arm, went numb and started tingling and burning. And like, then all of a sudden it just went away.
And then maybe like 2 or 3 seconds after that, I had mentioned, "Are you making her arm hurt?" And then she said, "Your arm." And I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Mine will answer.
So you guys
that's exactly what I'm worried about right there. You know, spirits can get strong enough that grip can rip tissue, you know. We just had Patty
Negri.
I'm sorry, Miss Patty. It's the head injury. I don't do good with names. We just had Miss Patty Negri on, and she was talking about a very serious injury she received the same way.
We love Patty. She's awesome. Yes. We got to meet her in Vegas, and she is one of the sweetest people, like, in the paranormal community. She really is.
Absolutely. Let me tell you what, before that podcast last night, I was pacing the floors like a caged animal.
Yeah.
I was sweating bullets. I'm going, oh my God, our whole reputation's on the line here. What do I do? How am I going to pull this off? And then we got her on, and she is the sweetest girl I have ever met.
Yeah. I was terrified as well. In my situation, though, I've had an incredibly difficult time contacting humans. I actually would have been better off just lying to your species and saying, "No, I'm just psychic. Yeah, I'm a psychic, and I can talk to aliens." That would have actually been better. So I was terrified. I actually offered to Eldon, I was like, "Look, can I just back out? I mean, I don't want to ruin your guys' interview being crazy." And then turns out she's. Yeah, so it's just Miss Negri, thank you.
Yep.
You
Sarah's
renewed my
exactly
faith in
right.
the mission.
Yep. Yeah, we said it was an honor for you guys to have us on after her. So like,
yeah, we all think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think so. That's one of the things I was worried about. See, I grew up in the music industry, and you don't want to follow a big act in the music industry. It's like, you're going to put me after who? Why do you hate me?
Right. I think it's a little bit different when it comes to the paranormal. You know, like,
I'm learning.
I'm all for, the para-unity thing. Don't work against each other, work with each other.
Yep.
Exactly. And we like nicest people ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Patty's also someone like we've looked up to for quite a while now. So it's like just cool to like, we're on the same podcast as she was. Like,
And, the one thing that drew me to Kennedy when I first interviewed her on Spokane Ghost Talk was the fact that she was para-unity, and that she was willing to work with anybody, and that's why I offered my hand to her, to get her going a little bit. And man, I must say, since that first interview, homegirl, you have knocked the ball out of the park.
Thank you. It definitely means a lot to me. Just hit 1,000 on Instagram a few days ago. So
beautiful.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
See, Brian was all, take my hand in yours, do a show with me. See, you got it started, Brian. Every episode I try to control it, and he's like, nah. Twink.
He's like, nah, here's this.
You gotta screw with your co-host, otherwise the show is just no fun.
If you can't have fun, then why do it?
Exactly.
You guys remind us of us. We pick on each other all the time.
All the time.
Everything is like chaotic, and it's great.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't picked on each other yet.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Cat. Raymond says, "Hey, Cass, welcome to the jungle."
Gonna call you names. Gonna stop that right now. Stop playing your mind games.
Thank you,
okay. Jason says, God is a human, and we are all living inside his brain activity. And sorry, I have to adjust my glasses. And he's with us in human form, living it out at the same time. That's an interesting philosophy. It should be noted that Jason has been experimenting with Emo Scalita. Yes, exactly. Yeah. A quick disclaimer. I wouldn't say so wild. People on psychedelics tend to see that connection, and it makes me wonder if there's something to it. I don't mess with psychedelics. My human father, way too much psychedelics. So I went the other way.
Raymond said, "Get it, man." So I have a question for each individual here. Same question. Whoever wants to go first, by all means. What is your bucket list? Top 5 investigations. Money is no object all around the world.
Oh God. Okay, here we go.
It's so hard to narrow it down.
No, when you put it
Top
that way, it's hard.
Get under Giza, fix the machine, protect the planet.
Who wants to go first?
I guess I will. Okay. Number 1, it's kind of maybe like a 3-way tie. Trans-Allegheny, Brushy Mountain, and Spike Island.
Ooh.
Those are the top 3. And then let's go Alcatraz and Gettysburg.
Good picks.
Gettysburg is up there.
Very nice.
Mine would be Sweet Spring Sanitarium. I'm actually going to St. Albans Sanatorium, which is like one of my top ones. So I'm excited about that. Spike Island, Statler Hotel, and man, that's hard. There's so many.
And you can only pick 5.
I did 4.
I know. I was like, you can only pick 5.
I know. I love when someone asks you the question and then your mind just goes blank and you're like, what's the haunted location again?
Like, wait a minute, what?
Right.
Pinhurst.
IHOP?
IHOP?
But oh my gosh. So my top 5, or I actually have one coming up. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Alton, Illinois, just one of the most like haunted small towns in America, which compared to the town I live in is not small. I'm going to be investigating Mineral Springs there this May with Kennedy, so that's going to be very exciting.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes, I've been wanting to investigate there for years, so I am so excited. Another one is the Voliska Axe Murder House, which I know that's probably on your guys' list too.
Oh yeah, it's on
like,
there.
oh my god, that story has creeped me out since I was a child. But like, it's just one of those locations I feel like I have to go to. For international, Poveglia Island has been.
Poveglia, yeah.
Now, I know it's like nobody's allowed there, but like you said, if I could truly choose, that would really be one of them, like for sure. Missouri State Penitentiary, because I'm just a few hours from that one. Just a big old prison where a bunch of horrible shit happened.
Bloodiest 47 acres in history.
Yep.
In America.
I'm only 2 hours from that one, so I would really love to be able to do that one this year. And then 5th, Trans-Allegheny. Like, I have to double down, triple down on that one. Like, we're hoping to stop there. We don't know if we'll get to investigate it, but we really do at least want to stop there and do a tour when we're in West Virginia for a week this week.
Very nice. Let's see what some of our fans said here. We have Raymond saying the Suicide Forest.
That one's a no for me. I could not do that one.
No.
You girls do Alcatraz out here. I'm going with you.
We got you, Sarah.
Raymond says The Conjuring.
Ooh, that is such a good
Raymond
picture.
says the French Quarter in New Orleans.
Have I heard? I don't know if
I've heard of it.
Nope.
And Keith Lee wants to know, have you ever investigated the guardian angel type ghosts and spirits?
I don't think I have.
No, but I would definitely be interested in doing that. Like 100% certain, because I feel like a lot of people deal with like the evil stuff. That's a very common thing. And I would love to just investigate like the good and focus on that.
I am glad you said that, because that's exactly what Global Paranormal and Bleeding Violence Studios is working up to. You know, in fact, that my next question was going to be something along the lines of, if we could fund your trip tomorrow, but you guys have to pick it, it has to be unanimous, and you have to decide right now, where would it be?
Location?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Trans-Allegheny probably.
Trans-Allegheny?
Was that like a good, could we all, I mean, I would be so down.
Oh yeah, Trans-Allegheny is on Global's list when we go nationwide.
All right, investors, you heard it. Trans-Allegheny. Let's get it moving. Can't guarantee anything, but this is what we do. Is basically we try to reach out to teams and lift each other up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And we have Jack the Ripper's house or stomping ground, Tranquil
like
Planetarium, and Suicide Forest. Now,
there's so many people want to investigate Suicide Forest. That is just one I just wouldn't have the stomach for it. I would get way too emotional.
If I had to pick my 5, it would be Suicide Forest, Vladimir's Castle, the Hellfire Club, and Trans-Allegheny Waverly Hills.
Hellfire Caves are on, because I do have like a top 10 international and top 10 US location list. Hellfire Caves is on my international list.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I know Kennedy would not want to do this, but I think it'd be cool if we could check out Island of the Dolls.
Oh God.
Oh, I am so with you on that one, Tiffany. So with you.
For anyone who doesn't know, I have a almost irrational fear of dolls and clowns. The only reason
there's nothing irrational about that.
There's not. I hate clowns and I hate dolls even more.
The sole reason that I hate dolls is because I've actually had one physically move on me when there was nobody else in the room but me, and I've never ran out so fast.
Yeah,
that is the only reason I hate them. Yeah.
The Parapost Network says, "Hey everyone," from Brian John.
Hello.
Hello, Parapost. Thank you for tuning in.
Actually, the creator of the Parapost Network. Have you guys heard of the Parapost Network yet?
I have.
I have not.
I have not.
Sorry, I'm the one that's slacking here.
So the Parapost Network is a Facebook-like atmosphere only for paranormal investigators and enthusiasts. And it is completely 100% drama-free. And you can hook your YouTube link up to it. You can hook your Facebook link up to it. And it runs on Apple. It runs on Android. You can download the app right now. And it is free. And let me tell you what. It is like being in paradise on that.
It's definitely worth it.
We definitely need to make an account on there for sure, because I am literally a social media platform that's specifically for the paranormal. That's sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and global, we've had, I think the last time I checked, we were at 18.4 thousand views.
Dang.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna download it right now.
You're a big supporter of Brian Laverty's Parapost Network, and tell everybody you know that has to do with the paranormal. Spread that word like a wildfire.
Downloading it now.
I'm a little afraid of Laverty. I have heard that I've heard that Laverty is a quite competent and capable human being, and in areas that I don't know anything about. So he scares me. So the purpose of Bleeding Violin Studios was specifically to fund these exact kinds of things. My bucket list is not 3, but basically I have to get to Egypt. I have to get to Göbekli Tepe. I also have to get to and now I can't remember the name of it. It's in Cambodia. It's in Cambodia. It's been in a bunch of movies, and I can't remember the name. But the whole purpose is to get to these places and make the investigations. That's the purpose of the company entirely. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, especially Castle Brand. I'm with you on that one, bro.
Hell yeah. Raymond says, I got to watch a porcelain clown doll on a swing back and forth. No, thank you.
That's Kennedy's worst nightmare.
That is my worst nightmare in one.
Yeah.
I broke 40K recently. Congratulations, Raymond.
Awesome, Raymond.
And he says, "Oh, Brian is a big teddy bear, LOL."
Well, keep in mind, I was terrified of Patty too.
Laverty says, "Oh, stop, Cass, LOL."
Like I said, I was terrified. I'm terrified of all humans until I get to talk to them for a minute. Just too many bad experiences.
Feel that.
Very relatable.
Yep.
Well, ladies, we are unfortunately coming to the ending time for our podcast here. 2 questions before we end it. Number 1, can I count on you gals for a round 2?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, that's perfect. That's music to my ears. I'm doing something right, ain't I, Cass?
Dude, I've been saying that for a while.
I mean, I've been here like 3 or 4 times now, so you must be doing something right.
Oh yeah. Kennedy and me, we're tight, man. We're homies.
Yep.
No, what I think is great is basically in a very, very short amount of time, Brian, you have gone from being a good podcast host to being a professional podcast host. The growth rate is amazing, bro.
Oh, stop. You're going to make me flush.
Well, that's my job.
Blood.
You're helping save my daughter. So, yeah.
Well,
a little bit of background.
ladies,
My daughter needs a heart transplant. Global United is helping her. So,
absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's all about family. And once you're global, even if you're not global, you're family when you're tight with me.
That's awesome. We love that. We're happy to be a part of the family.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, most definite. Spooky Trio is definitely a part of Global's family for sure. And that was fun. I like you guys.
Well, we like you too.
Yeah,
we love you,
like
Sarah.
you.
Love you,
We
Sarah.
love you, Sarah.
And of course, don't forget everybody that's watching from around the world, hit that like and subscribe. The more subscribe and likes we get, the better off the shows become.
Yes.
So, is there anything you ladies would like to say before I unfortunately have to pull the plug?
Honestly, I think I speak for all 3 of us. Thank you to all of our fans who decided to join us tonight. I know it's a little bit late for some of you.
Yes.
Yes, Burgundy,
Natalie,
Karen, and even Raymond. He was a new one. I know he seems to be regular for you guys, but I'm glad he still decided to tune in with us.
And
Sarah, I see.
we love you guys.
I see
too.
Natalie, Sarah. I saw Burgundy earlier. It means the world to us. In all honesty, I was just having this talk in the group chat the other night. I don't think any of us ever expected this. No. We've always been the fans of somebody else. We've never had fans of our own, and like for us to finally be able to say that we have fans, it's like holy crap. This is actually happening, and it speaks a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
let's have somebody make our first video edit of us.
Yeah, somebody made a video edit of us, and I'm just like,
that was so cool. I think Elena was her name.
Yep.
If I remember. Shout out to Elena.
Yeah, definitely.
I would advise you guys to mentally and emotionally prepare yourselves for being, recognized on the street. Otherwise, it can go to your head, and hubris is a killer. Okay.
Yep.
It is, but it's weird, isn't it? Though.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a full circle moment for sure.
The first time I got recognized on the street, I was walking with my buddy Scott, and we were going to Walgreens to get some Fireball. And I walked past this house, and all of a sudden I see this lady just come barreling out of her house, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's you! You're Brian James from Spokane Ghost Crew."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, how can I help you?" It would be so great if I could get a picture with you. Can I get a picture? Sure, come on over.
Right. We kind of had something similar to that happen at DeadCon in Fort Wayne. We were walking past the line for the Destination Fear booth, and I heard somebody go, "Oh my God, that's a spooky trio." And I'm like, wait, what?
Similar happened like that in Vegas too. Remember Robin? She was like, "Who are these 3 girls? Why does everybody come up and want pictures with them?" She thought we had our own TV show.
I'm gonna speak for the rest of Global when I say that we are definitely big fans of you guys, and we cannot wait to see what's coming up and what's in store.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I've got some tricks up my sleeve for this year, so
beautiful.
I think we're all in for a ride. But
oh yeah,
it's gonna be one heck of a year.
July. For sure.
Yeah, July is gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, my door, my phone is open. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If you girls have any questions, concerns, need help with anything, feel free to buzz me and I will help out the best that I can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And
You
thank you
guys-
guys so much for having us on.
Yeah.
We cannot
Yes,
wait
this
to
was
be
a
back.
blast.
This was a lot of fun.
It was our honor. And Kennedy, I will get with you later on tonight about a spot open in July.
Alrighty, sounds good to me.
All right, girls. Thank you for coming on the show. You guys rock and much love.
See you guys
Also-
later.
One more thing.
Also,
Oh,
I would be remiss if I didn't remind you. If you guys have any trouble with that spirit or whatever, we are right here. You have fans that can help you. We're here. You know, if you get into any trouble with the spirits or energetic entities, you have help. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you girls have a great night, and we will talk soon.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
you too.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Well, Cass, that was a great show, my brother.
Yes, it was. I'm always nervous when meeting new people, but they made it easy.
Well, guys, don't forget to tune in next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Richard Guthrie and Tiffany Boomgard with Into the Mystery.
Shannon Boomgard.
Oh, Shannon, sorry. Next Thursday, Tiffany will be debuting her new show.
Tiffany's Tarot.
And don't forget, get ready to lock horns, ladies and gentlemen, because on next Sunday night, we will be power bombing, pile driving, and suplexing the spirits with Parathrashed Podcast. Once again, I would like to thank Bleeding Violin Studios for all of your fabulous and wonderful production that you and your son do. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, get your butts over to Parapost Network, download it, start your trial or start your profile. It is fantastic. And Cass, you got anything else?
Yeah, just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I cannot emphasize that enough. You know, the show we could have the best show in the world with the greatest guests and the most production value. It could be the universaliest, awesomest show that ever showed. But if we don't get those likes and subscribes, it's all for nothing. We are only as strong as our signal.
Absolutely. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have a hauntingly good night and a ghoulishly good day. Much love, y'all. Peace out.